Hello and welcome to Wild, Wise and Curious. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Lou, and we're really glad that you're here with us today.
You can listen to Wild, Wise and Curious wherever you get your podcasts.
And if you'd like to watch the conversation too, you can find us as a video podcast over on YouTube.
Let's get into today's conversation.
Hello Louisa and welcome to Wild, Wise and Curious.
Woohoo!
Finally! Oh, it's really good to have you with us.
Yeah, it's like third time lucky, isn't it? I think
it is.
Yeah, it really is. I think actually it was before Barefoot last year we were trying to get you on on the podcast.
Yeah, and it just starts to get busier and busier and busier.
Yeah,
closer up to it, mainly, procrastinate quite a lot and don't get the jobs done that I'm supposed to. But I think, I was poorly last time. And I'd absolutely lost my voice, hadn't I? I think.
Yeah, you had. You said you couldn't talk.
And then the time before that, we did meet, didn't we? But all we did was talk.
Yes, we did, didn't we? That's right. We didn't actually record anything.
Noisiest cafe in the world.
That was really good. I remember because there was kids weren't there running around, and almost like there was a little creche thing going on at the same time. But it was just really nice to just sit and have that conversation, even though we didn't record anything, and that really don't matter.
So we just had to chat.
Yeah, put the world to rights, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, definitely. But so I'll start with the question that we always ask everybody who comes on, and then the conversation just goes wherever, as always. How did you come to realise that you were in perimenopause?
Had absolutely no idea actually for quite some time. I think I just thought I was going bonkers.
Yeah.
Or was just still bonkers. But yeah, there was. I remember because I had a baby quite late in life as well. So I was 42 when I had Rumi. And I think I just phased from the madness of having a baby and all the hormones being crazy then straight into the madness of perimenopause.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think I couldn't consider that I was in perimenopause because for me, that word menopause was for old ladies. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It hadn't even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I remember going on an Ayurvedic course about ladies' health and Ayurveda for women, and there was a lot of ladies in that room wanting to know about menopause. And I actually remember, I don't know, I must have been like late 30s or mid 30s. I remember thinking, oh my God, why is everyone going about menopause? Talking about menopause, for God's sake. And then
And now that's what we do.
I gave my son a lift this morning because he had to take his motorbike somewhere, and I had to give him a lift back. And I said, I've got to get back because I've got to go and do this, little chat with these ladies podcast. That's the word. I can't remember the word. He was like, what are you doing a podcast for? I said, oh, well, it's these two ladies I know, and they do a podcast mainly about menopause. And he did his
They must be well excited.
Who listens to that then? I said, probably other menopausal women. Most likely. I'd imagine that's the demographic. And he's like, yeah, I don't think it would be people like me, will it, Mum? 17-year-old boys.
Most welcome.
I mean, of course, but highly unlikely. So is that your demographic? It is mainly other perimenopausal, menopausal ladies.
I think it pretty much is, and that's just really because I think it resonates. Every single person we have on has got different symptoms, and they've dealt with it all differently. Yeah. And I think usually at least one thing will resonate with somebody.
Yeah.
And I think that's all it is. I mean, we've got one lady said to me that just to know that there's other people out there dealing with the similar things makes all the difference. Just knowing.
It really does. And especially because up until recently, no one talked about it. No one shared about it. I mean, I didn't have a clue anything about it until I got here.
Yeah.
Especially, I'd gone to the doctors with aches and pains, and I'm a yoga teacher, and I'd been practicing yoga. And I was starting to get to the point where the recovery after yoga was ridiculous and my joints were aching. So I was thinking, have I got arthritis or something like that? Gone to the doctors. Doctors referred me, went to the hospital. She was talking about me having fibromyalgia or something like that. Because it was a bit mysterious. She couldn't quite put couldn't quite. And I had blood tests. And then that was when they kind of investigated what was going off, because I was quite insistent, because I was just like, this is not normal, you know. And in the end, he came back and he said, oh, he just kind of slipped it in very, as he was reading all the other stuff, and he was like, yeah, and you're in perimenopause. And I was like, what?
What now?
Perimenopause? What is perimenopause? I've heard of menopause.
She's menopause's evil little sister.
Yeah.
That's the
She hangs
shittest.
around for a lot longer.
You know what I mean? That's the worst bit. Why did we not know about that? Why is my mother never? Like, nothing. So it was like perimenopause. I don't know what that is. I mean, obviously, all of this stuff, I think there's people are now like recognizing that I keep seeing like little memes about the amount of money that is spent on erectile dysfunction as opposed to, you know, other women's problems. And like looking at the rates of diagnosis for things like endometriosis, like shocking, absolutely shocking. So I think well done, ladies, because, you know, you get in the vibration and the word and the talk and the discussion and the normality of, you know, chatting about it, which is exactly what is needed.
Yeah, and we just do it for selfish reasons, because we just like talking to wonderful women.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, that as well as all those horrible things, like most things in life, it's like a yin and a yang, isn't there?
Oh, hugely.
Equally with all the bastard shit that goes, sorry, my last all the stuff that goes with perimenopause, there's this other side of like freaking suddenly women fall into these amazing spaces of, you know, like literally wise wisdom.
Yeah.
And wild
cracking, isn't it? It's like shedding all the shit and going, actually, you know, the conversations that we were all talking about earlier, when do we sort of just concentrate on ourselves and go, sod it, I am going to go off and do this, or I'm really going to concentrate on myself, or I'm going to write that book or visit that place, or, you know, like find that thing that makes my cup full or makes my heart feel full. And it's just like there is a lot of magic that we've found, that a lot of the women that we're talking to have been, you know, they were on this trajectory, they worked in like a normal kind of job, they got to midlife, perimenopause started to happen, and they were like, I can't do this shit no longer, it's not serving me, I don't want to do it. And then people are just totally changing the trajectory of their lives and falling more into like the heart-led work, aren't they, and sort of like earthy stuff. And it just feels like, we started talking about perimenopause because, like you, I didn't even know that perimenopause was a word when I first heard it. But we've found this amazing little magical thread that kind of also accompanies all the shit that makes you go, ooh, there's another potentially 50 years where I can do all the magical shit that I wanted to do that I've just not had a chance to do yet.
We keep talking about poo, but it's really relevant.
Did I say poo then? Yeah.
Shit.
I said shit, yeah.
Oh, and I was just before as I was waiting, because I thought I'd be organised, because I'm absolutely rubbish at Zooms and something always goes wrong. So I'll sit down half an hour before to make sure I do it properly. And I was just having a quick scroll through of my phone, and this on one of the occasions that I was trying to move to Cornwall, I was trying to move to this like community space, which is not far from Falmouth. And I think there's a Channel 5 programme out about it at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were cleaning out the compost toilets. And we've got compost at Barefoot again this year. And there's lots of stuff about poo. You know, the other documentary on, is it Channel 4, about the sewage farm.
The leak. Yeah.
And all of that kind of stuff. But I remember when I was doing my yoga training, like you have to do saver, which is like selfless service to the running of the camp. And you get designated. I don't know whether you like literally pulled out of a hat. I can't remember how they decided who did what. But every goddamn time it was me on the toilets. Every time I was eating shit. I there was other people, they were serving food, and I remember like, why don't I get the service of food? You know,
you've been doing the shit.
And I said this to a guy. We were both cleaning out the toilet, so I can't remember. And I was like, you know what? Every time I come, my saver is cleaning the toilets and dealing with composting toilets and stuff. It's like, well, you know, it's the closest to God. That's what they say. You know, it brings you closer to God. It's the most, you know, important work. So I don't. There's definitely something in it. I've talked to people about probably more than I should do about shit, and how like literally you've got to deal with your own shit, haven't you? And the people
Yes.
do not deal with their shit. And we live in compost toilets are great because we live in a world where we have our nice little porcelain loos, and we do our business and we flush it away, and we don't know what happens to it
No,
afterwards.
we don't think about it, do we? Once we've flushed it.
Yeah, we don't even think. And I think on a like metaphorical level, and an energetic level, again, I think perimenopause pushes you to deal with that shit, because you've probably been dealing with everybody else's shit for
Yes.
everything, in a literal sense.
Yes.
Physically, yeah. In all sense of the word.
Yeah. And then it's suddenly your shit gets put on the side, doesn't it? It's kind
Well,
of
you're getting blocked up, aren't you?
exactly.
Point.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is this kind of, I guess, massive release of like, right, okay, now you start dealing with your own shit because I need to deal with mine.
Yeah.
And I think you're forced into it, aren't you, because of everything that goes off. Like for me, I think it was the health side of things. Like I did a bit opposite to what everybody did in COVID. I've always done what I want to do.
Yeah.
I think this is another thing that maybe we could talk about is ADHD with perimenopause.
Yes.
It was a whole different kind of ball game as well. And I found that really, really challenging. But I have had not a recent diagnosis. I've been diagnosed for about 5 years, I think. But yeah, that is a whole other game. I started doing Barefoot Festival by accident. Not by accident. It was after my husband died. And I kind of was like, I just want to gather all my friends together in a place, because we go through life, don't we, going, oh yeah, we will meet up, yeah, let's get together, yeah, you can do this, and you just never do.
No.
And then when something like a death happens, it kind of makes you take stock of all those things and go, do you know what, life is really short and life is really precious. And I think I kind of went the other extreme and went slightly hedonistic.
Yeah.
Didn't really lay down sort of security and think about long-term things. Never thought about getting this age.
No.
And I don't know why. I just think, again, maybe because I was young and I'd like experienced like dying, that I just was like living in the moment. And on some way, that's a really great thing.
Yeah.
It has a really positive thing, but it also has a kind of negative side. So with the mix of the ADHD and all of that, I'm going to run a festival, whatever. I don't see barriers to it, and I've done that. So then with COVID, again, I guess it was a really weird phase of life that people reacted to differently. I started, instead of going, oh, I'm not doing this job that I've been doing forever, I was like, right, I want to be a teacher now. So I'm going to go and retrain and be a teacher.
Okay, so that was the pivot for you, that COVID was when you decided.
Oh yeah, in a practical sense, it was like literally I was running all of the jobs that I was doing to earn money were like the ones that got cancelled. Everything. We couldn't. This is how I got into doing Zoom. How I know how to do Zoom, because I was teaching yoga on Zoom like everybody else on a Sunday morning, which was wonderful. And I never thought that it would be that wonderful, but it was. But yeah, that was like, well, this makes me feel really insecure. I've got kids that I still need to be fully responsible for and pay my bills, etc. If they're just going to cancel events and deem that this sort of like artistic creative jobs are not essential jobs, then I need to do something else that is. So that's how I end up then going, right, what can I do? Okay, I'm gonna go back to university and do my PGCE.
So take us around back to that time then. So you had Rumi.
Yes.
And you kind of went straight into what was the gap between you having Rumi and then you going and getting your perimenopause?
Not that long, I don't think. And then this is I'm not very good with timelines, because that's a quite typical ADHD thing. like, well, Rumi was born in 2018.
Yeah.
And then I did, like a lot of people, I had quite a lot of, deep time to think and stop, because I never, ever stop.
No.
Never, ever stop. So, I mean, I didn't even properly stop with COVID.
Yeah.
Because I still decided to run Wild Woman online, the Witch Festival online, or I can't remember which one I did, but also we did a barefoot online.
Wow, okay.
We did it all online. Like, people camped in their back gardens and stuff.
Oh,
that's amazing. That's fabulous.
Yeah, and we all like Zoomed stuff, and we had workshops. We had really great workshops. That's kind of how Witch Festival came about, because we did a Witch Festival online first. And that was what was brilliant about that, is we were able to connect with people all over the world.
Yes.
We had like voodoo kind of lady from South America, and it was just amazing. And that's what kind of pushed me into doing that. But you asked me a question and I'm going back to it.
No, it's fine.
2018, Rumi was born. I moved here just before COVID, which was great timing, because we'd been in a not a very nice area in a town with a very small garden, and we moved back to Mount Sorrel, where there's beautiful places to walk, all around. So when we go on our daily walk, we had lovely, got really into nature. And yeah, I had all 5 kids at home, so that was nuts, but lovely as well. And so it was that point then that I really started to unpick stuff. I actually started having some counselling because of, like, the grief stuff before, and I think I just worked all the way through it, and kind of Barefoot's wrapped up in that a little bit. It's kind of been like a little baby that I've nurtured and taken care of, and it's 20 this year,
and it's got 20. Bigger. Yes.
Yeah, so I've unraveled a lot, and I think, like, I'm feeling really, like, from all that experience, quite healed and more settled. And that was it. It was like, okay, stop working, stop entertaining everybody else, stop doing yoga for everybody else, stop putting on amazing experiences for everybody else, because all while that's been going on, it kind of started of like, I like hula hooping, I want to learn to hula hoop. Okay, I'm going to put workshops on for people to hula hoop, but then I never actually hula hoop.
Because you're too busy running around sorting it out for everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. So all these amazing things, I've not really got much chance to do. So, like, and I think, again, we were talking before about, you get to this point and you go, hold on a minute, what about me? Then when your health kicks in as well.
Yes.
And then it's like, so now I am a lot more, like, kinder to myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm still, like, I'm putting myself first, because I've still got young children, and but I'm definitely a lot more kinder to myself, and, like, making sure that I'm eating the right foods, and going and doing exercise for me to keep me well and healthy. And I think that's been a big change.
You raised a really good point as well, Louisa, about ADHD and perimenopause, because there is a lot of evidence to suggest that women in this time of life, a lot more are being diagnosed with ADHD. So I'm just really curious as to what your experience was around that time.
I guess, again, it was all around that same time when I was starting to be, like, thinking about what's going on, that things are not right, not just, like, physically, but, like, the things that I do are a bit bonkers, like, and I was starting to go, oh, that's not normal behavior, where it had kind of always felt a bit normal to me. And also just doing stuff that like, it's just crazy stuff. And so I started to then unpick that, looking at things about ADHD. And then a really close friend, she got diagnosed with ADHD. I'd started working part-time at the school, and they'd paid for me to do a course on autism, and we had students who had ADHD. Then we did a training day for the whole school on ADHD, and I was like, whoa, this is me. This is, like, exactly me. And then it made all the things that I've done in my life kind of made sense, like barefoot and everything. I'm sure it's all been massively entangled with the fact that I've got ADHD. And then, yeah, I was feeling like actually I could no longer do stuff. Like people would say to me about barefoot, and they'd go, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. And it's not that I thought it was easy. It's just my brain works like that.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
can do it.
Just pulls it.
But when I got to perimenopause, like that wasn't the case anymore. I found it much harder.
Yeah.
And this is the thing with ADHD. You know, people say, oh well, it's a superpower. You know, it's a gift, really. And yes, there definitely is wonderful aspects to it. But there's also when that superpower won't work when you want it to, or not work on the bits that you need it to.
Yeah.
The other thing kicks in where you just suddenly, you know, you can't do it. There's no forcing it. And then you're stuck with deadlines and stuck with having to manage stuff. And I have found that since with perimenopause, a bigger battle, like having to, you know, there's definitely been a change in the way that I can function.
So it sounds like there's not only the perimenopause that you're having to deal with, it's the ADHD as well, and then combined, it just feels like that could be quite a lot to deal with. Yeah.
Well, I remember when I first got diagnosed, and then the whole perimenopause thing was coming along, I was like thinking to myself, I'm sure this has got worse. This has got much more obvious to me since I've been hormonal.
Yeah.
You know, the hormones must do something. Those people with ADHD, it must make it much worse. And I spoke to the doctor, and they was like, no, we've got no support that. This was a while ago though. And I was like, I swear that, you know, this is kicked in much more. I'm finding it much more difficult to handle now. But now I do think that people are acknowledging absolutely that if you've got ADHD, it is worsened. I guess I don't know that's not the word to use.
No, and it's because
Maybe heightened.
Yeah, because there's seems to be a lot more women are diagnosed with ADHD in midlife. So maybe those women have perhaps had elements of ADHD just running alongside them all the time, but the hormones, whatever they're doing, does something that does make it.
Yeah, I think that's what's happened with me, and I think that's perhaps what's happening with lots of women, is that we just get on with it.
Yes, yeah.
And we know things are a bit hard, but I think another thing, and I spoke to another friend who's also, she's a little bit, the other side, she's a little bit older than me, and she's not long had a diagnosis. And I think we both kind of said that, like, oh, right, so I'm not an absolute pain in the arse. I'm not an idiot. I'm not like, I don't know all of these words that I've said about some of the things that I've done. Like, that kind of helps me understand it, which then gave me the, like, being kinder to myself as well. Like, when I started to understand, and then as soon as I got the diagnosis, I was like, okay, what do I do with this then? And I started to look into, well, what is ADHD? What is perimenopause? How do the two interact? And there's lovely talks now. You can go on those seed talks and things like that about ADHD and women and how it affects them. There's lots of books, there's lots of stuff online. You know, it is definitely, you know, people are more talking about it a lot more. But it forces you to have to change, because I am forced to, I cannot go at the rate I have been going.
No.
Half of that is that I just can't do it. Like, my brain is not capable of doing it. The other half is I no longer want to do it.
Yeah, and they're two very different things, aren't they?
Like, I mean, I don't know, everyone's experience is different, but with ADHD, if I want to do something and I'm dead interested in it, and I will obsess it and hunt it down, and, you know, I will do it. I'll do it at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, that's how I get.
Yeah.
But then when my brain's gone, I don't really want to do this anymore. I want to actually just go in my garden and plant some calendula.
I do that.
I do that too. I do that too.
I've lost it. I've switched. I just and I cannot force it.
No.
It's like that, you just suddenly drop it, and that's a bit frustrating, because if it's something that you do actually have to do, it's very hard. So that's
recently with an essay. I was so excited about writing this essay. I'd got all these ideas around it, and I was researching it, and I went in and I spoke to my tutor about it, and I was like so excited about this, and then he said something that made me think about something about that I was doing, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a different idea. And then within minutes, I'd lost the train. I didn't want to get on anymore, and then I really struggled to get back on to write the thing that I wanted to write, because just that one comment. Bless him, he was absolutely right with what he said. I was going in a bit of a funny direction, but I almost felt myself like going blah 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 blah, and I'm going to do this blah 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 blah. And then as soon as it switched off, I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. Just like that.
Is it trying to get to do it then?
Yeah. I'm really stuck in a rut at the minute, because I'm back at uni as well, and I've got another 18 months left on this PhD research, and it's a creative one, and it's looking at the lack of perimenopause on TV drama, the representation. But as part of that, I'm writing a TV script and a book that kind of is the story, so that I can basically adapt the book into a script. And like, I set everything up. I get halfway through, right, let's do some character bios. And it's the stuff that I'm really interested in. They're really earthy characters, and they're like all sort of magical people that I love being around, that I'm writing stories. And I sit there and I get all excited, and then all of a sudden in my head I'll be like, I've not put that garlic in the garden. I'll just go and do that. Then I'll go and plant the garlic. Then I'll see something on the table and I'll go, that needs to go upstairs. Oh God, the stairs look dusty. And then I'll hoover. And I find myself doing loads of things. And then by the time I think of, oh shit, I've got that deadline for uni, that's got to be in, they want to look at it on Monday, I'm like, I've run out of time and I can't be bothered anymore.
It's like you've deliberately sabotaged yourself.
Yeah, I've done it this morning. I honestly have done. When you said that, I was just like, I've done exactly the same this morning. I think
a big thing for me, I don't know whether, I think we talked about this last time, this magic word discipline. And as a teacher, obviously I have to talk about it, but I think it's got like loads of negativity around it. Again, on my yoga training, the concept of having a discipline, people will call your yoga practice a yoga discipline. And ultimately it is that, I'm here at this time to do that, and having that discipline. And that goes with everything, doesn't it? Eating a healthy meal and, having healthy food every day. It's that discipline. And I don't know, I feel like social media, just scrolling and wasting time and stuff has made us all a little bit undisciplined. I don't know that I'm not that's what's going on for you, but I feel this. I used to have really rigid, very disciplined person, and being able to I need to get this done, but I don't know, I've just kind of gone a bit more and this is what I'm seeing in young people. We've literally at the moment, obviously it's GCSE season.
I've got one.
Yeah, and they're just the most chilled out, nonchalant kind of it's just and there's a little bit of apathy and kind of, I don't know, I don't know what it is with them, but it's slightly worrying. They do have absolutely no discipline whatsoever. And when if I said to a teenager, you've got to have discipline, that'd be it'd be like a horrible word that I've said that would it put them off. But I think it's actually a brilliant thing.
Well, it gets stuff done, doesn't it? It gets shit done. Going back to the poo bit, but it does, doesn't it? Because if I kept my arse in my seat in the little office and worked through the things I needed to, instead of hoovering the stairs I would have had 3 solid hours this morning of productivity, and instead it's just been bits.
I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking, and you completely poo-pooed my idea when you started saying about kids, because that doesn't include them. But I'm kind of thinking that certainly as mums, we're all mums here. We are constantly we've been thinking about everybody else for so long and trying to keep their lives in order, and not really had to think about what we need to do, other than in the realms of keeping everything going in the family. I don't know. I think for me there's an element of I actually don't know how I work best, because at school I didn't work very effectively. So I feel like I'm still trying to find out how I work best going with my uni work, which is ridiculous at 50, because I've never really had this opportunity to find out how do I learn best.
But maybe,
does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, totally. But maybe if you had gone to uni as an 18-year-old, you may have learned different to how you're learning now anyway.
Maybe because I'm older. I do find it harder being at uni now I'm in perimenopause. Definitely.
I find being at uni now totally different, because I went to uni for the first time at 35. That's when I did my degree, and even though I had like 3 young children, I found that quite not easy. Easy is the wrong word, but I found it doable. Yeah, it was doable. Even with 3 kids and running the house and everything else, it was doable. Now at 50, where my kids, the youngest is 16 and the eldest is nearly 23, and they do a lot more around the house, I'm finding it all quite tricky. I'm finding it quite hard.
What should we do? I mean, everything you've just said as well, like, wow, you know. And then that's another thing, we say it in such a like, oh yeah, I went back with 3 kids at 35. And like absolutely amazing. And the same with like, you know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It is probably not where naturally we are biologically designed to be, maybe. I don't know. Yes and no. Yeah. Maybe yes, we want to be thinking, we want to be like a little bit like academic, using our brain and doing other things, because but not all the other billions of things as well that are expected of us as women at this age. Like I definitely feel like, I have this like need for having discipline, need to like, I need to sit down for 2 hours and do some work for this and blah blah blah. And I'm decorating my house and everything. But it does get to the point where it is just total overwhelm.
Yes.
And then it's like, do you know what? No, I'm just going to do nothing instead.
Yeah. And maybe that is the age. Maybe that is the fact that we're kind of straddling 2 worlds. We want to, like you say, do the like academic-y thing, and we want to push our brains and like learn new things and do different stuff. But at the same time, maybe our bodies is saying, yeah, but you do need to take it a bit slower, relax a little bit more, because I guess 50 years ago, being 50, you probably were a little bit more chill. Whereas I guess for us now, you know, we're working, we're studying, we've all got kids, running the household and all the rest of it. It's a lot, isn't it, to keep those balls up in the air.
Yeah, and I think there is like this, but certainly for me, you know, I'm not speaking for everyone, but there is this pull to completely slow down. Like that's one thing I'm really feeling. Like I actually don't want to be sat at a computer. I don't want to be sat making TikTok reels for 30 minutes.
But it's tricky.
But I do want to be out in the garden a bit more.
Same.
But I do think, as well as people acknowledging that, you know, perimenopause is this kind of thing, I think also there's these massive expectations on women anyway, all through their lives. But especially now, it is literally like you've got to have it all. And you've got to do it all. And wow, you know, we do sometimes, and it's amazing and it's fulfilling, but also it's just very exhausting.
It is. I quite often come to you, don't I? And I'm just like, Lou will say to me, "You're all right," and I'm like, I don't know what day it is, because my work's full on and like uni's full on, and then it is a lot, isn't it? You know, you just.
But there's also an element of actually, I've got to this point in my life now where the kids don't need me as much. You know, I feel a little bit more settled in myself. I know myself better than I ever have done, and there's this almost like, now I've got another however many years. I've got to squeeze as much into that time as I can now, because I never really did the things I could have done when I was younger.
You don't realise that. It's like me saying I wasn't, 36, 37, when really I should have been thinking about what is coming up, there.
Yeah.
Like, possibly perimenopause, but I'm 50 in January, and I'm properly having this like 50. Wow. It's like half a century,
Yeah, I know, it's bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah.
We were 50 last year. Yeah.
Like you're a proper grown up now. I can't like and yeah, so that kind of weighs a little bit on you as well. It's because you do think, oh my God, what am I going to do with this one precious life now? Because I'm not going to do it. Or,
Yes. And it's gone in the blink of an eye.
Oh God, hasn't it?
You know, it's been 5 minutes since our kids were tiny, and
and like you kind of, I see these things, like I was watching a thing on children's programs. Ben 10 is like flipping 20 years old or something like that.
No, he's not.
Well, that would be.
But he's got his own
right.
kids.
How is that possible? Do you know? But I'm sure that was only 3 years ago. You know, my mom.
That's how I feel with it. And that weird baby in the sun. What was that? Teletubbies. Oh my God! I mean, the kids didn't really.
They're like really old now.
They're really old now. Yeah.
I
think the baby in the sun has got a baby, hasn't she?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw that the other day. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, when people blow down that, oh, do you remember 20 years ago? I'm like, I don't know, 20 years ago, because clearly I'm only 17.
Exactly. But I think the thing that got me was it Nirvana's Nevermind, when that baby's a man. And you're like, no, but it can't be, because it's still a tiny baby on an album cover.
So this is where we are these, like, we say to the kids, and I remember people saying it to me, oh, make the most of it while you're young. It goes,
yes.
Well, it literally does, doesn't it?
That's us now, isn't it?
So we have got this like kind of pressure, but I'm really gearing up to try and like, I've had enough of it now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying because I have said before I don't want to do barefoot anymore. And I don't want to make this big dramatic, oh, this is the last year, because I did that before a few years.
I remember.
So I've like said to my kids, I'm not saying that. But what I want to do is I do want to change it. I'm going to have next year off. I'm not going to run barefoot next year because it is my 50th and I'm going to celebrate the whole year.
Good for you. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So
I was coming to barefoot last year.
So I want to do stuff in the summer. I want to go to other people's festivals and
and do the hula hooping.
Yeah, now have a go at hula hooping and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely don't want to do it next year. And then my thought is that if and when I decide to do it again, I want to go back to like proper like old school stuff, like when I was younger, like the cool raves, like you had to have word of mouth. And not everyone knew the location.
Meet in a car park and follow the car in front.
So that's what my desire is that I'm going to go. Maybe even like it's going to be all done through the post, or something. I'm not quite sure. It's going to be word of mouth, invite only. So you're going to have some kind of like special code or membership, and you only have like there's got to be like a link and a referral. Like you've got to have come to Barefoot before. And you have to be like brought in, like these like funny clubs with like handshakes and stuff like that.
An earthy one.
Yeah. So I just think that that's the way I want to go. I literally don't want to be on social media having to like go, come on to the festival.
It takes up so much time, doesn't it? I mean, I only know for the podcast, and sometimes you like sharing and liking, and it's brilliant, but then you're like, oh, you're talking about all the things that you want to do, but you're actually spending the time on the screen talking about the things that you want to do.
But also, it's very noisy. It's all so noisy, and I don't want to contribute to that noise. But then, how do you get people to see what you're doing?
Yeah.
It's this catch-22.
It is a catch-22.
It's really quite difficult.
It is. And there's a lot of pressure to be out there and to be being seen. It's like the new kind of like. Have you got a presence there? Is how many followers have you got? It's like, and especially I think for younger people, but I think we've just also got to like invest in those alternative ways of doing things. Like I know that people I saw a couple of days ago a couple of people saying they've had enough of Facebook.
Yeah.
But and they're coming off, and people having breaks and stuff like that. We've got to do stuff like that. And business can't be just solely reliant on that.
No, it can't.
Other platforms, I think, and other ways of doing things. So that's my thinking, that I'm going to try and make like a mailing list or something and make it a little bit old schooly. Do you remember? Is it Bad Neighbours or something? The film where he goes, they've got flyers, and there's it who gives out flyers, and it's like old people. I'm going to be doing it old people ways. I'm going to still go out and put flyers. Post.
Oh, God, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that sounds a good way to do it, doesn't it? We always talk about how can we do this life differently? Things. It's not like conducive to a sort of healthy, happy life, is it? Sitting in front of the screen and trying to tout your business and talking about the things that you're doing. It's not.
I'm telling my kids not to doing it, but then I'm doing it as well. So that's like.
Oh, the same here. Same here.
But I think the most important thing is that we all get together, isn't it? It's being with each other, and I think that's become quite hard to do. And I think but because of that, it's become more important. That we do actually spend time with each other.
Yeah, in real life.
IRL. Yeah.
But that's it. That's the discipline thing again, though, isn't it?
Yes.
This is where discipline is more friendly.
Yeah.
When if you say I am going to see my friends. I was talking to someone the other day, and we were trying to arrange a day. Even my kids trying to arrange. I want my boys to move something for me, but trying to get it so that we're all three of us at home at the same time is near impossible. Yeah. And then a friend of mine, we were like, "What are you doing this weekend?" No, I can't do that weekend. And it's like, wow, how is it that hard just to go and see your friend?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's, I think, again, just going, well, you know what? I've got to make it.
Yes. It becomes important, doesn't it? That you have to put the time into it.
It does.
But
and we can find time.
Pardon?
We can find the time, can't we? But it's just navigating.
It's like, your little chat group that you've got as well, where, we keep saying in there, dropping in there that we want to meet up, and I'm not sure that we have we? We've not kind of.
I've got one. I put one on there.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I put one on there, but I think it's. I think a lot of people can't come. Yeah. But have a look on the group, and you'll see there's been an invite go out.
Yeah, because I think like that's what you're saying is really important. We need to.
Community, isn't it?
People and hug each other and talk.
Be
together.
With each other. And I think for me as well, it's the no expectation, like the not having to offer a service or a ceremony or something. It's just that getting people together, and for me, that's become really important.
Yeah, and I think that's what's lacking, and I think the only thing is that people want to monetize everything.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this the other day. There's a lady down in Cornwall, and whenever I go, if it coincides nicely, I go to one of her singing groups, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Like it makes me so happy and full of love, and people are so friendly. And like the first time I did it, like I just kept crying because I was so emotional.
Oh wow.
Doing these like folk songs, and she gets you in your like your pitch, and it's just such a magical experience. And I came back home and I was like, I'd really like to find a singing group like that up here. Like this lady is quite magic and unique. Yeah. And then I saw an advert came up on my phone for women's, and I was reading it and I was like, that sounds exactly like it. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. And then it was like 55 quid to go.
Oh wow, okay.
Wow. I simply cannot afford that.
Yes,
no, same here.
We have had the same conversations
about exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
about singing.
Because we had Emily on the podcast. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and we said exactly the same thing. But I am going to one on Saturday. I'll send you the details because it sounds very similar to what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So a lady down in Cornwall, I think she charges like, I don't know, 8 quid, and it's for like about an hour and a half, and then you hang around, have a cup of tea and biscuits afterwards, and you know, that's manageable, isn't it?
Yes.
Like,
Yes, it is. Yeah.
and because of that, she's got an absolute packed out room of people who are there every week, or people like me who only go whenever they can. And that's just wonderful. I just think like that's what's missing a little bit of sometimes people, and I'm not saying do it for free, because you know we've all got bills to pay, but maybe as women we just gather and say, come round my house, and we're just gonna sing, you know, we're in the garden and we're just gonna sing, and it's
like build a fire and sing. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, because that feels quite
thing,
ancestral, doesn't it? It feels like we're really connecting with our roots there if we do.
And there's nothing in it. There's no like ego. There's no, oh, I want to put it on social media. Oh, I want to get more likes. There's no like hidden agenda of it purely being like women or and whoever. It doesn't have to just be women, but people gathering with their families, with the kids. I mean, that's another thing that I find. Like my kids, I had older children, and then I've also had younger children. So my youngest is still only 7, and I'm a single mother. So if I want to go to anything, like it has to include them as well. So it needs to be inclusive financially, you know, include people financially and include people with kids, you know. And there's this lovely event that I want to go to Solstice, and I keep looking at it and I'm like almost tempted to buy the thing. But I feel like I have to ask, are kids allowed? It doesn't look like kids are allowed, you know, or it's not made for kids, you know, because I've been to a couple of like healing medicine folk festivals and stuff, and wonderful, they're doing the work, they're doing a spiritual work and everything, but kids are definitely not involved there, you know? And again, I think finance makes a big impact, and that's a big thing for me behind doing barefoot, is like obviously I can't like do it for free because it just costs so much money to put on, but it needs to be inclusive. It needs to be that if you are there and you're doing yoga and you've got your kid with you, you know, that's totally allowed, you know, and encouraged and welcomed, because they're often single mothers on low incomes, you know, from other backgrounds. They're the ones that actually need it the most.
Definitely.
And I think we're not doing things just for the pure love of it anymore, and that kind of makes me a bit sad. Again, the whole social media thing.
How many times do we have this conversation about it? And it's part of the reason of the group and doing other things and things that we want to do in the future. It's about looking after that, like helping to look after those people that perhaps they haven't got the access. I mean, I couldn't afford to go to a 50, 60, 70 pound for a day retreat, you know, I couldn't do it.
Well, it becomes what your priorities become, you know, like there's this event I want to do, or there's this I need to do, and like, oh, okay, that's going to have to go because I need to prioritize, and it's unfortunate. I mean, we're the same. I'd love to go to all these events, but I just can't afford it. I just can't afford it.
And then you have to make sure that it's the right thing for you as well. The thing was that one, so I won't mention which festival it is, but I went with my kids. I paid a lot of money for it, and I ended up coming home on Friday, I think. So we'd arrived like Wednesday. We were supposed to be there, but it was it was a really strange atmosphere. It was all a lot of kind of wealthy, white, you know, kind of maturer people. It was a very strange thing. There was a lot of people doing medicine for not the right reasons, and it was all a bit weird. So I was a bit like, I don't feel comfortable here at all with the kids.
No.
You know, maybe if I was on my own, I'd have been having a nice time, but like I don't know. No, it just felt all a bit wrong. So we ended up leaving. So, and then that makes it even harder because you've made it, you've put the outlay with the finance and chose to go for all the right reasons, and then it's not very all-encompassing and all welcoming. So I think the events need to change a little bit. I think there's been a lot of stuff that's excluding a lot of people who need it.
Again, though, a lot of it is just community, isn't it, Louisa? It's just like we need to build our communities. be with each other, and there not be an ulterior motive.
Or a monetary exchange.
Yeah, it's just be with each other. And it's like, how do we do that?
Yeah.
That feels to me that like the most organic thing.
Yeah. And I suppose once you've built your community, you could perhaps, hire, if there's too many of you to go and sit around someone's house, you could just chuck in a couple of quid each, couldn't you, to hire a space, or go to the park and have a picnic and have a sing-song. And we can do all these things, but it is a thing, you've got to build your community first, haven't you? Because then once you've got that, you actually don't need so much of the external stuff.
No. Like, I think, just gathering and, literally just around fire.
Yeah.
Our voices, maybe someone brings some drums and...
Yeah. That sounds like my absolute idea of a perfect evening, Stars out. Yeah, just... Yeah. I mean, we talked, didn't we, about getting a field last year?
Yeah, we did,
just inviting friends.
But it got to be so expensive just to hire this field.
And obviously you know all about that.
I know it, and then all the other stuff that would come with it, and it was just, it seemed like so much of a ball ache that we just didn't follow it through. We just need someone with a big field.
Yeah. Field and a woodland.
Yeah, that's all we need.
If anybody's got a field and a woodland, they want to let us borrow it.
Yeah.
Or like, again, like these ladies who were doing things like that. I mean, I just feel like I'm kind of, maybe the younger ones can maybe get to do that kind of thing. But sharing. I think we look at the way that we do things, because we're also almost like a Victorian idea of, this is my house, my property, and my children, and each of my children have their own bedroom, and that's it. Like, live like that. But like these people now who we were talking about, who are like making living very different. And putting it in, and skill sharing and all of those things. I think it is happening. I think people are
see so much more of it now, don't we? I mean, I know it's the was it Devil and Eat Blue, isn't it? Because you kind of see it all online, even though we want to extract ourselves from online. But that's really where we're seeing it all, aren't we? And there are, because I probably like you, Per, I follow so many people who have kind of gone off grid, or they're living in a community, or they've bought, like we were saying before, about buying the apartments, and like just all women living together, and or people like putting all their money in and buying like a battered old house that needs doing up, and it's got 30 acres, and they're farming the land, and they're homeschooling the kids because someone was a teacher, and someone is a brilliant cook. And I mean, that just sounds absolutely beautiful, to be fair.
I just don't think we were meant to do all this on our own.
I don't think so
we weren't meant to parent on our own.
No.
We weren't meant to be in communities together, sharing the load. It
literally does take a village, isn't it? So I had a thing. I've lived in Mount Sorrel for a long time, and I've gone away and then come back, and gone away and come back. And I've been here like 5 years. And whilst I know a couple of the neighbours, my dogs escaped the other day, and they'd had a bit of a fight with another dog, and I had to go round all the neighbours to kind of like apologise and make sure and find out who it was. But as I was going round the neighbour's house, I was like, made me realise how isolated we are. We live so close to each other. They must know me, but we never say hello to each other. And I'd like to think I'm a pretty friendly person.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't know any of these people at all. And it was a bit of a weird experience. Like, and then I got talking to a lady across the road, who she was really, really nice, and it's the first time I've spoke to her, and she's actually just sold her house and she's leaving.
Oh no!
Okay.
We had this conversation, and it kind of a bit shocked me, because I was a bit like, wow, I've not made the effort. They've not made the effort. We live right next to each other, and like, we just don't talk.
Yeah, we're all so busy, aren't we? You kind of, going back to what we were saying earlier on about all the things we're juggling. It's almost like you get home and you kind of think, oh God, I've got to get out the car, get the shopping into the house, or get the kids into the house, and then I've got that phone call, I've got to cook tea and all the rest of it. Whereas I guess, again, 50 years ago, are like, my mum and dad, they know everybody more or less on the street. I mean, people have come and gone, but they'll know what so-and-so 3 doors up the road has had for tea that night. Probably not quite in as much detail, but they, you know, they're in their 70s and they just know more. I mean, but ours is the same. I think we've been in our house about 22 years. And we speak to probably about 4 lots of neighbours, but 20 years and 4 lots of neighbours.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, isn't it?
No, I should know everybody on that street.
Like my parents, when they did know everybody on the street when they were younger. There is something just gone, and I think we're finding the community on this, aren't we?
Yes.
And that's taking that need for community, but again, it's going back to what you said, the in real life, we need to have that discipline, make that time to make those connections with each other. Because otherwise something's going to go very, very wrong. I was reading something the other day about dating for young people, and like young people were saying that they've never ever like had that experience of like going up to someone and chatting them up, and because everything's online. No experience. So like when we were younger, we'd go like, I mean, I don't know about you, but go to the bars and you get guys coming in and chatting.
You know, have a few drinks if you
fancy. Eye over the, you know, dance floor and accidentally bump it. You know, all of these actions.
And it was great, right? It was great. I mean, am I on my? It was good fun, wasn't it?
It was great fun.
It depends.
What was sad about this is that it was to do with the young people, like have got like massive anxiety about doing it.
Definitely.
About going and chatting to people and, you know, making those connections because they've just had no experience of it. So like that kind of is really sad, and there's gonna, I think, and we're like the wise and wild and wonderful older women.
Talking on you.
We need to set an example, don't we?
We do, don't we? But we just definitely just have to follow this up with meeting in person and sitting around that fire and singing.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm going to have my whole year off next year. So if you want to meet around a campfire,
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, we spent the whole year like celebrating our 50th. And we did loads of stuff, didn't we? It was so much.
What did you do? Tell me some of the things that you did.
Oh my gosh.
We went to Wales, didn't we?
Yes.
And spent like 3 or 4 days in Wales. We did a zip line. That was the first thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was at the Outdoor Pursuit Centre.
Yeah. They do a menopause group, so
every
month,
like canoeing and stuff.
Yeah, they do like activities every month, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, they have a little festival as well, don't they?
Yes.
And that's quite inexpensive, where you can just go for the weekend and you can just try all the different things like the climbing and the zip lining and the canoeing and everything.
Yeah. That's in June, isn't it?
It is in June, yeah. We came to York barefoot.
Yes. That was big, wasn't it?
That's the first time I've been there.
Hey. It was the first time I'd been, even though it had been on my agenda for, God, probably nearly 20 years.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
my God.
So I'd always known about it. So we've got some mutual friends from way back, and like she'd had spoken to me about it all that time ago. So you've always been on my radar.
I'd gone on my own the year before.
Yeah.
So something that I thought, stuff it, I'm just going to go. So I brought my camper van and I just went and made lots of friends and did lots of stuff. And then it was like, in fact, I think I asked you, but you couldn't make it
That's
year.
Right,
on my
2
own.
years before, yeah.
Yeah, and then so we decided we were going to do it together, and we had a great time.
We did.
What else did we do?
Just little gatherings, getting people together and sitting around the fire and those sorts of things. Just nice and easy things that just fill your heart up a little bit.
I think when I turned 50, it was the time where I was like, if I want to do something, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, that's I think that's the feeling that I've got. Like, I've been taking my kids skateboarding.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to go skateboarding. I used to work in a skateboarding shop, like surf and snowboard. And I've snowboarded and I've had a couple of surf lessons. I'm not saying that I'm any good, but I did stand up for about 3 seconds.
Very good.
But there's this big thing now online of like perimenopausal and menopausal women getting into skateboarding. And
well, I've got a skateboard. I bet you have as well.
Oh, I don't know.
A bit of a thing. I've been watching that, and I'm actually quite tempted to buy a skateboard, to be quite frankly honest with you.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I think that's it. We get to this point where, like we said before, you know, you go, holy crap, I've done everything for everyone all my life. I'm halfway through my life now. So I need to start doing those things that I always said I was going to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, so if that looks like, you know, skateboarding or surf lessons or, you know, and I think just rejoicing in the body that we have, knowing that, you know, there will come a time when we're not going to be able to do those things. So yeah,
Yes.
I couldn't do the snowboarding the first time I did it. I went on I went with an ex-boyfriend, and we'd gone to the Dolomites, and he was really good at snowboarding, so he took himself he'd come with me to help me on the nursery slopes, and I was just like, no, you just go and play on, you know, on the black runs or whatever they're called, and I'll be fine. So I'm going along.
You told you to go and play on the black run?
No, I told him to go and play on the black runs.
Okay.
I was on the nursery slope, and I was like, don't worry, I'll be fine. And I sort of came down, like I'd got my snowboard on. I came down this like little hill. It wasn't massive, and at the bottom was like this great big pile of snow. So I'm like coming down it. Everything's fine. I'm loving life, and then I start to pick up a bit of speed, not massively, and I get to this big mound of snow at the bottom. And I just think, oh, I'll be all right. I'll just land in it, because I was going quite quick at that point. So I tipped, went to land in it, but it wasn't snow, it was ice. So both my wrists went, and I broke them both.
Both your wrists?
Yeah.
Oh.
In Italy, in the Dolomites, and had to walk probably a mile or two into the village, take my bindings off of my boots and carry everything. I haven't been back. Yeah, like, exactly like that. I haven't been back, but I really want to. You talked about it last year, and I wanted to come with you, but I couldn't make it.
Because I used to go skiing, so me and my son went. So that was one of the things on
your list. Yeah, that was last year.
So I think it was the year before, actually. The year of my birthday. And then
that was only last year.
No. I'm thinking it was the year before because last year we went snowboarding.
Yes, snowboarding.
The year before we went skiing.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. It was so much fun, and it reminded me of being a kid again. And I loved it. It was so much fun. We had the best day. So we went, and he learned how to ski. He'd never done it before, and we had the best day ever. So the following year I said, well, should we try snowboarding this time? So booked in for that. Could I do it? I was like, no, I'm going to go and get some skis. So I went and got and did that. But again, it was just I never thought I'd be able to do it again at 50, but I thought, stuff it, I'm going to give it a go, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
But I was listening to that Emily's podcast that you did last week, and I was listening to a bit at the beginning of that, and she said something about that, like childlikeness,
yes,
that energy of that perimenopause kind of also picks up.
Yeah.
You know, and this whole like idea of whimsy and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's really true as well, and I don't know why it happens, but I'm finding I get that as well. So those childlike experiences of doing stuff and remembering what it was like to be a kid, more so than any other point that I can remember at this time. Like I can slot into like things that I'm doing and be like, oh, I remember doing this. And like that, the whole going and hanging around skate parks is like, it's almost like a full circle, isn't it? It's reconnecting there as well.
So we've spent so long being told what we can and can't do, and then you get to the stage, and then you can't go and do that now. You can't just sing for the fun of it. You have to be really good.
Yeah, and I think that's what always put me off.
You can't just dance for the fun of it. You have to be really good. And it's like we get to this stage and we're like, no, it doesn't matter. I can do it just because I enjoy it.
Definitely, and that's definitely the thing for the singing. One of the things Emily said was, and it stuck with me from the other week, and it was somebody spoke to her and said, I love how you just let your voice crack when you're singing. Whereas I've always sung, I love singing, but I get a bit nervous of singing in front of other people. But when she said that, I just thought, oh my God, why the hell have I been worried for like 45, 50 years about what other people think about what my voice sounds like? Why does it matter?
That is definitely me as well. Like I do like singing.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was at school doing singing, and I played Tallulah. I mean, that's my daughter's name as well. It's nothing to do with that, but I played Tallulah in Bugsy Malone.
Yeah.
And I remember singing then, and like how brave. I don't know, even like I used to be a professional belly dancer.
Yeah.
And like I used to like dance around restaurants in tiny little sequined like bras and stuff. But then something happened in my like late 20s, 30s or something by suddenly like I got uncomfortable about those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Became really self-conscious, and yeah, the whole singing thing, like I'm really worried about, like, I don't know, and it's like
What someone else thinks about what our voice sounds like.
it's this
It's
point
funny,
like,
isn't it?
why am I giving a shit about this?
Yeah.
Like, what does it matter what they think? They actually probably most 9 times out of 10, like what you've just said about Emily, they think it's brilliant, and
Yeah.
you give them permission as well to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
That
gives-
hit home hard. Listening to that. Yeah.
Look, most of the time we think people are thinking stuff about us, and actually they're not, because they're just thinking about their own shit, aren't they? Kind of just like bogged down with the neuroses or whatever it is.
So maybe that's why we don't care about falling off skateboards or or singing in front of people or whatever it is that we're going to do.
So we'll organise a sing around a campfire then soon, shall we, Louisa?
Yeah. I mean, I've organised some stuff like that for Barefoot. Actually, just been talking to this really interesting lady, and there's a choir of ladies who are coming, and I've got nowhere in the programme to put them now. And I just said to her, "What about you just do it around the campfire?"
Oh, that's
fabulous.
glorious.
Wonderful.
And then I think we've got some storytelling. So yeah, it is like it's happening at Barefoot, but you're right, as well as it being just a once a year thing where it's a big thing.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore. It's getting too much for me. So I'd rather take it back to more regular, smaller gatherings. I'm just thinking, I've got a friend who could probably be nice for you to talk to her on a podcast as well, where she's got a little bit of land and she's doing some amazing stuff with forest management and forest school stuff, and
That sounds gorgeous.
that's over in Grantham. So we'll maybe have a chat with her, and she's just got that started and going. So again, there's people doing it, and I've got my teepees because she's provided me the wood for my teepees. With forest management in this bit of woodland that she's got. And I said, I don't suppose you can get me some teepee poles, can you? Because I've got 2 teepees. So yeah, hopefully they'll be up at Barefoot this year. So she, bless her, was like preparing them. So you hopefully get to do some things in teepees.
Wow.
I'm just going to put them up.
Yeah.
So that
See what happens. Yeah.
And just chill out. And that's nice. The teepees, you would love the teepees.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Fire in the middle of the teepee and open the smoke flaps and sit down.
Oh, yeah, that'd be glorious.
I could live like that with some land and a woodland.
A composting loo.
And a composting loo for my poo that I could then feed my potatoes.
Again, aren't we?
Full circle.
Well, on that note, Louisa, I think it's time for us to
end on poo.
End as we began. It's been lovely talking to you. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Yeah, thanks
today.
ever so much. It's been really lovely.
Yeah.
No, thank you ever so much.
Right.
See you later.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, feel free to email us at info@wildwiseandcurious.com or reach out on our socials at wild_wise_and_curious. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Stay curious and we'll see you next time.